Hey, thanks for clicking on the video. This is going to be another episode of Reforge Gaming talking about Halo Infinite speedrunning, and 343 ruined it. And why? What are they doing? What is going on? Be sure to hit subscribe and the bell button and the like button if you like my coverage. I hate to go negative because we were hoping that Season 2 would start out a little bit better, a little bit stronger, and that just has not been the case. So make sure you're here for those live streams. Make sure you're always checking both the subscription feed and my channel. We do multiple streams a day. We also now go over to Reforge Radio in the afternoon for gaming topics. Reforge Radio is no longer covering like politics and serious stuff. So make sure, if I don't cover enough gaming news here for you, that you check out that channel in the afternoons. I'm going to redirect everybody from this morning's stream where we covered the new Unreal 5 footage that got released on Twitter and kind of went viral. We took a look at it. We kind of discussed all the various aspects of Unreal 5 and what's going on with that engine, what that's going to lead to in the market, in the industry with respect to games and performance. And now, right here at the beginning of this stream, I'm going to give you the goods on Halo Infinite ruining speedrunning. This is a Reforge update. Halo Infinite Season 2 has ruined speedrunning, apparently, and they're already running into problems and things that have been addressed and also need to be addressed. I'll outline all of it for you in this video as best as I can. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Always be sure to check out Reforge Gaming, where I streamed this live, and be sure to subscribe to the updates channel if you like these quick videos. So what is going on? We pulled this from PCGamesN.com. Halo Infinite has been plagued by multiple issues and negative feedback since the launch of Season 2 on May the 3rd, leaving some fans upset with the direction that the game is heading in. X343 developer Blaze Lightcap recently expressed his disappointment with the Halo Infinite Season 2 changes, saying that nerfs to sliding and trick jumps, quote, shows intent toward removing some of the game's more iconic advanced movement techniques. So, why does this matter? What did they do? Why does this matter to speedrunners? Movement tricks have been long-standing part of the Halo community for both speedrunners and montage makers, as well as among regular players, and 343's senior community manager, John Junisek, I don't know how to say his name, I always feel so bad. He says that the team, quote, has seen the feedback around the changes that impacted various multiplayer jumps and campaign speedrun strategies and is reviewing options internally. They also had a quick response to something happening in Last Spartan Standing. According to PCGamesN.com, the free-to-play game's new Last Spartan Standing mode has been affected by several bugs as well, most notably that player challenges were not tracking correctly, especially in instances where players left the match early. John says that the issue should now be corrected, and 343 is granting 5 XP boosts and 5 challenge swaps to players as compensation for the trouble, and increasing the rewards for next week's event challenges to help players make up the difference on their event passes. So this week, Tuesday, May 10th, that's when I'm recording this, those things should be rolling out as compensation for the problems they seemingly jumped on that. However, there's also gun jams happening, apparently. John also commented on a gun jamming bug, which is causing semi-automatic weapons, such as the battle rifle, to stop shooting mid-combat. He says that the issue, quote, was introduced when addressing a rapid-fire exploit, and that a fix is in the works. What on earth is going on? Season 2 was supposed to be maybe a turning point, maybe something better, maybe a little bit of extra life into the game, and that just doesn't seem to be the case. And it's worrisome given the state of the game, given the way that the game feels, as the seasons are far too long. It makes the battle pass feel incredibly stretched. It makes progression feel incredibly slow. There's also the event design and how you earn the events, the challenges, and then they started having problems with challenging not tracking. And then, adding into all of this, they just quietly messed with movement that people liked to use for both speedrunning as well as just basic movement tactics in general. If you're going to make these types of changes, generally speaking, you need to tell the audience, number one, that you're doing it. Number two, I think even more importantly, is why. Why did you do these things? Why did you mess with these movement things that people enjoyed? Now, it's understandable with the gun jamming. If there was a rapid-fire exploit and they tried to fix it and they messed something up within the actual shooting mechanics of the gun, number one, it's a little embarrassing because your game's a shooter. These are things that you shouldn't be breaking. It's one thing if you have like a glitch on a map or something, or like an artifact that's not working properly because you fall through the map and there's like a glitch in the graphics. This is literally a gun that's been broken because you tried to fix an exploit. This is very worrisome given the fact that the game just suffered so incredibly with respect to player fall off and player morale, and another really long season off to a rocky start is not a very promising trajectory. Let me know what you think in the comments below. As always, head over to Reforge Gaming if you want to discuss it with my live stream audience as well as me. And here on Updates, hit subscribe and the bell button, and I'll see you in the next video. Well, I'll see the rest of you right now. What in the world is going on? Just what on earth? Has anybody experienced any of the things that we're talking about here? Gun jamming, things in the actual oops, I didn't switch scenes. Things in the actual challenges not even tracking. I did not have that experience, but I didn't really focus on it, so I didn't give myself a whole lot of opportunity to have that happen. So curious to see where you guys land on this one. I've had the gun jamming all weekend, says Everlast5. Let me tell the audience you're doing it, and second, and more important, don't blanking do it, says Zubair. I mean, listen, if you feel as the developer that you need to address something, if you don't like what you view to be maybe like movement exploits or something, then, okay, fine, address it if you don't want people doing it. But you need to tell people ahead of time. If at some ground level they've decided as a studio that they don't want people doing these movement exploits, then okay, it's your game, it's your vision for the game. I'm not going to stand in your way, but you need to communicate that to the audience. This is concerning at so many levels. At one level, is this the communication standard going forward? That you're just going to make changes and not tell people? You're just gonna nerf movement style, movement decisions, or things that people enjoy, and you don't say anything. Yo, Super Tajito, that may count as a new member. Let's see if it pushes us closer to an emote unlock. Thank you so much for jumping back in. I greatly appreciate it. Enjoy the dope badge and emotes. Enjoy supporting the channel directly and getting access to members-only content. Appreciate it very, very much. Let's see if that pushes us any closer. We need 5 members, 5 new members to unlock an emote. Don't forget, if you're a fan of Halo and you're watching this as a VOD or you're watching it live, we are doing community game night this Friday night, Friday the 13th at 8 p.m. Eastern, members only. So even if I'm not live, click join and be here Friday night. If you're here right now, make sure and join up so you can be here for community game night this week and help us unlock an emote. Help me make my wife play Elden Ring. That's another perk we're working on right now. Everything fine for me, says Hilly. I completed the pass in 3 days. The BR has jammed on me. They need to fix that bug, as the BR is the starting weapon for in most ranked games, says Hilly. Okay, so they haven't fixed the BR thing. Hilly, what about the movement stuff? Did you use any of the things that they talked about? Any of the sliding speed movement exploits? Was that something at all in your repertoire of movement, would be my question. Degenerate custom games on the menu, boys. That's right. Expiry's in chat. Expiry's going to cook up some good games for us. If anything, Expiry, the games that we used last time were great, so we haven't played in a really long time. Bugs after trying to fix an exploit isn't something to get upset unless too much time goes by. I don't know if I agree with that, Hilly. It's a shooter. Halo Infinite is a shooter, and they broke a gun trying to fix a gun movement. Right? Like Hilly using advanced movement. Thanks for that laugh. Hilly's like, what advanced movement? I'm not a speedrunner. The game feels slower with the slide now. Oh, so you do use slide. He uses slide, Eugene. He uses slide. I always thought you were saying X-furry. No, expiry. Expiry, like almost like expiry date, like the expiration date. Oh my gosh, that's funny. If you guys are in the stream right now and you're enjoying it, make sure and hit the like button. It's a new stream, so be sure that you switch over to live chat and be sure that you smash the like button. Give us our first 100 likes. We love to get those first 100 likes super, super fast. It helps out the video. We haven't had a coffee order yet today. You could be the first coffee order, and you could be one of the 5 people we need to become a member to unlock an emote. Also, be sure to chime in. What do you think? What about these changes to this season? Has it turned you off from playing? Are you like Hilly? Have you already been grinding? Have you already been getting work done? Did you already go in and get your battle pass done? Where are you on the commitment level with Halo Infinite Season 2? We'd love to hear from you. I slide and don't jump because like Zubair, I jiggle. I'm sure that there are 13 people who are super sad that they can't launch themselves across the map with a highly explosive piece of equipment that normally blows you up, says Vengeance. That doesn't sound like what they changed, though. That doesn't sound like it. Movement tricks have been a long-standing part of the Halo community for both speedrunners and montage makers alike. So there is something that has impacted multiplayer jumps and campaign speedrun strategies. So it doesn't sound like it's purely like blowing yourself up. It sounds like more was fiddled with than just that. Do you know what I'm saying? I don't necessarily know what exactly people were doing. I thought it was sliding. And jumping that allowed you to move faster. It wasn't just like throwing a rocket or a grenade or an explosive behind you. The question I would have is, what exactly were people doing? Was it affecting multiplayer is another question that I have. Like, those of you that have been playing the game, were you seeing these movement exploits in multiplayer, and was it causing a problem? Was it creating like unfair advantages or something? Was it almost like playing against a cheater? Because, I mean, people use exploits to get outside of the map, and you have to patch that, right? You can't let people get outside the map. And this could be something similar. Sounds like the movement tech got a hit, says Barrier. Expiry says, customs are still lacking in terms of options. No starting equipment is blasphemous 6 months in, for instance. Yeah, I mean, I'll blast them for that. I remember when I was trying to set up custom games before Expiry just started offering to build games for us for Friday night. And even then I was like, this is ridiculous. Like, I can't give people starting equipment. I don't understand. Why can I not give people starting equipment? Zubair says, the exploits I saw was stuff like blowing up a warthog and then grappling to it as it went into the air, and it caused the player to get launched across the map. So so why would they take that out? Isn't that like a Halo staple? Isn't it the Halo staple, like, do goofy things with warthogs and grenades and explosives? That sounds like a normal Halo thing to me. You gave people a grappling hook, and they're getting creative, and you're like, no, we don't want you to do that. Can you imagine implementing that in PvP, how ridiculously hilarious that would be? I wouldn't even be mad. If some guy Superman'd across the map by blowing up a vehicle and grappling to it, I'd be like, bro, you deserve mad props. I'm not even mad. I can't even get mad at that. How could anybody be irritated by that? Like, why can't you grapple to it? Right. When did the store items update, Hilly? Do they update in an hour, or do they update right now? Because we definitely want to make sure and take a look at the Halo Infinite store items for the week. I know people like to see that. I know they like to check on the weekly updated items. Hopefully my game doesn't hopefully my computer doesn't freeze, as it always typically likes to do whenever I load up a game in the first 60 seconds. You didn't see the explosions, you just see a cheating guy flying through the air and get mad. I would see a warthog flying through the air, I think, Telorn. I think I would. I think I would see a warthog. Unless the warthog dropped and he's just continuing to fly. And even then I would be like, I don't necessarily conclude that he's cheating just because he fell out of the sky. It's Halo! Imagine the stuff people do for speedrun traversal in Breath of the Wild. They tried to patch all that out in Halo. I don't get it. It's just good for them to have TikTok clips showcasing the funky stuff. Right, you're essentially chopping people off You're when the weekly resets? Yeah, but what time of day is that? Is that now or is that in an hour? I guess I boot up the game and I'll find out real quick. Just like I'll find out if my dadgum computer crashes. Let's get this stream to 200 likes. Yeah, we need 20 more likes, guys. Smash the button. Smash the button. And when he did it to you for the 25th time in a row, you're still not mad? So I'm supposed to believe that a guy launching a warthog across the map and grappling hook toing it, he's grappling to it and falling out of the sky. I'm supposed to believe he's doing this with such utter efficiency that he keeps killing me from doing this. Do you have any idea what we're talking? You're talking about something that is, number one, incredibly difficult to do consistently. In 2 hours, I think, but I'm cooking dinner. I'm going to check right now. Hopefully, I swear, if my PC freezes, I'm going to be so dadgum angry. I'm going to have to swap this with my wife's rig and take mine in to get it looked at. I hate that feeling of like, if I boot up a game and it runs for more than 60 seconds, I'm totally fine. But the first 60 seconds of a game booting up, I'm just constantly moving the mouse to be like, am I making it? Am I making it? Am I making it past the minute mark? Please? I'll give this anecdotal data point. I spent more time watching speedruns than actually playing the game. Right, that's like free, exactly. It's like free marketing. It refreshes Tuesdays at 10 a.m. Pacific. So that's 11 noon 1. So in an hour. The store will refresh in an hour. We'll check it out then. We'll check it out then. I'll go back to play. Well, yeah, we'll just check it in a moment. Is that how bad people are now? That's what I'm saying. If you successfully launch a warthog across the map, grapple to it, fall out of the sky, and kill me, number one, I can't see that happening so many times in the game that I'm like, this guy's cheating. I'm not playing anymore. Like, I just don't see it. People aren't quitting. People are not quitting Halo Infinite because warthogs are falling out of the sky and they're getting montaged. That's not why people are quitting Halo Infinite. People are probably quitting Halo Infinite because their BR is jamming, or the progression is terrible, or the season is 6 months instead of 3 months. That reminds me, Apex new season starts at 1 p.m. I don't really cover that, but I know there's like a new character and folks are excited. You know what I mean? That unrelated, do you think you might do a first look for Evil Dead? Maybe. We might record that and throw that on first look over the weekend. Make sure you're subscribed to all the channels so you don't miss out. Smoke 'em if you got 'em says, so because they took out the noob tank gun that's ruining speedrunning, because there are people complaining and can't beat Legendary without it, you're just an Xbox hater. What? No, I'm not an... What are you talking about? I'm not an Xbox hater. We're doing community game night this Friday night. We're playing Halo Infinite. Spend more than 60 seconds here before coming to a conclusion. You'll look more intelligent than you do right now. They ruined speedrunning. The speedrunning community is really angry. You have people that are willingly playing your game, and you just turn them off from playing your game. Yeah, Newcastle's his name. That's right. Halo to me has always been a meat grinder. Anyone pulling cool stunts in multiplayer is making my day. Plus, you can try your own crazy stuff. Maybe you should stop smoking them. You might have had too much. We need 7 more likes for 100 likes, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Halo Infinite Season 2. There's bugs, there's glitches. They've addressed some of them. There's currently a gun jamming glitch with the BR. Apparently, there was a rapid fire exploit. I'm all for fixing that. I'm not going to give them grief about that. But apparently, they messed with speed running, like multiplayer jumps, and something with sliding as well. I don't think it was just some, as you referred to it, as a noob tank gun. Lono, an Xbox hater, tell me you don't have an argument without telling me you don't have an argument. Casualifying BR and arena shooters, same argument as skill-based matchmaking. Don't baby me when I'm shooty. Distorted says, it showcases your poor game design. I don't consider clips of that spreading good for them. They aren't just making the product to sell to consumers, but to show what they are capable of as well. I mean, yes and no, Distorted. I think if you have people doing memes of warthog launches or speed runs or crazy jump tricks or whatever, that's good for your game, bro. How can that be bad for your game? One of the leading causes, not the only, one of the leading causes of Fortnite's popularity was the clips, the memes, the montages, the ninja moments of, that helped that game significantly. Some people, if they're like a CM for Bungie maybe, they might take, the gloating and the teabagging and the dancing on, and the winning at the end, that might have really ruffled their feathers and made them wet their diaper. But the Fortnite community rallied around it and thought it was awesome, and it helped that game's popularity. So if people are memeing your game, cheesing it, goofing, and doing silly clips, I don't think that's bad. In this culture, I don't think that's bad for your game. It certainly doesn't help to shut that down, I wouldn't think. But the fact that I can clip through this elevator door in this one level, who is that hurting? 343 responded to the community and said they are looking into it and they might undo some of the changes. Listen. I went on a rant about this. It's still on this channel. I went on a rant about this when this game launched, and I said I was deeply concerned about a consistent pattern of having zero clue what they wanted to build and what the community wanted. And I tracked it through numerous things, and here we sit 1 week into Season 2, and I've got more things to add to the list. I need to go update the rant. I need to go update it. From the time that they said, we are going back to traditional radar, you guys didn't like threat detector. Number one, how did you need to find that out? How was that news to you? And then after that, you're going to progress the battle pass with challenges. Universally decried as a bad system. It was decried when Titanfall 1 did it for their prestige system. And they stuck to their guns and did it anyway. And then within a week, they had to make adjustments because everyone was like, this is terrible. And they go to sort of an XP after game match situation, completely disconnected from what the community wants. You don't have ground level community expected features like Forge or Co-op or SWAT or Slayer. And the list goes on. And now you go into Season 2 and you're like, I know what we'll do. Let's just mess with the speed. Let's make speedrunning not work. Why? Like, what are you doing? It doesn't make sense. What's the impetus for the change? And you don't tell anybody either. For a start, coil jumping would mess up the BR mode coming, says Paul. Everyone is missing why this is fixed. We'll say no more. Oh, you got inside information. You're going to go all quiet on me, Paul? Just leave then. Just leave, Paul. You won't say anything more. They're removing it for a reason. It's not what people think. Well, talk to us. That's my point. All you gotta do is talk to us. The anti-air gun was never intended to be used past the intro of the game. Listen, if you have a specific reason for patching something like that, like let's take what Paul is saying, coil jumping across the whole BR map, a good idea. Okay, let's just take that. That's great. This is another concern that I've had. So let's put aside they're completely out of touch with what the community wants rant. Let's just put that down. That rant, let's set it down. Let's take up another rant. And it is, maybe it's not a rant, it's a concern that there are deep-seated problems with this game's foundation and engine. If you need to make that change for BR, you can't set that as a rule set for BR. You got to do a global change. That is worrisome. Because now what you're doing is, anytime something like this shows up, you're like, look at what they did to the BR. The battle rifle's jamming. Why? Well, there was a rapid fire exploit. Well, you did a real bang up job fixing it. You fixed it so good that the gun doesn't work. Like, what? You... Never go full. And they went full. So that to me is deeply deeply concerning. Barrier says, they hit skill slides, which makes you slide faster or further. This is what it used to look like, 18 seconds long. Let me take a peek here at this little vid. Let me take a little peek-see here. So that's somebody using specific movement to slide faster. And they took that out too. See? Yeah. You are doing exactly what committed players hate. You are quite literally taking out like a file, like almost like a nail file, and you're just shaving down skill expression. Do you see what I'm saying? So, skill sliding, I played a game, let me take you back in time, to a game called Quake 3. In Quake 3 Arena, Rocket Arena was fantastic. It was round-based. You died, you were out for the round. You started with weapons. You started with armor, okay? And strafe jumping was a phenomenal way to get around the map quickly. It was something that would take you by surprise because you would think, oh, I just saw that guy go into that room. I can go around right and flank him, head him off on the hallway, and I'm going to get him. And if he was really, really good at strafe jumping, he'd surprise the frick out of you, and you'd get a rocket to the face or a lightning gun, or he'd be waiting with the rail gun, and you'd come strutting into the room and just boom and be dead. So strafe jumping was great. It wasn't just a way to... It wasn't like, oh, you can or you can't strafe jump. You can just ignore strafe jumping, be good at aiming. No, strafe jumping quite literally aided you in map control. It aided you in map control. So, skill slides in Halo, hitting that and adjusting that, why? Why would you do that? That's a form of skill expression. Someone figured out how to move in your game at a higher level of efficiency, and instead of being rewarded with that for that skill set, you remove it. That is one of the quickest ways to drive the competitors out of your game. And when you lose the competitors, you're going to lose everybody else. Because what ends up happening is everything is in this gray pit of mediocrity. It's like, well, it was like the team shot era in Destiny 2, if you remember those days. The minute you squash down skill expression, everything becomes bland and neutered, and no one plays for very long. Why? Because even a mediocre player starts to improve. Even a mediocre player starts to advance in skill and feel better. And when that ceiling has been shoved down, it gets boring really, really fast. Can you counter it? If it can be countered, I'd say leave it. You counter it by map awareness. What do you mean? You countered strafe jumping in Quake by anticipating the maximum traversal speed of your competitor might put him on corner A instead of mid lane B, like mid room B or corner or corner of B. Like, where's he going to be when I go in this room? And I got to anticipate the skill level of the player. Like, this guy might be fast at traversal. I need to check radar. I need to enter this room differently. You counter it by map awareness and checking your radar. That's how you counter it. It's just it's movement speed. Halo, in a game designed to be slow AF, if one guy is fast, how do you counter it? But it's not about being fast. It's just a movement skill. Let me ask you a question, Creature. What about sprinting? Like, people aren't as good at sprinting and unsprinting, right? Like, turning off sprinting at the right times and sprinting at the right times to increase target acquisition. So they just get rid of sprinting too? Make everybody move at the exact same pace? Take jumping out too, because different people use jumping to throw off your aim and to make them a harder target. It's like swan diving in Call of Duty. You do different things in the game. It's like drop shotting in Call of Duty. You do things in the game with the existing moveset to make yourself a harder to hit target or a more efficient movement player. And when you start shaving those things off, I'm telling you what, that's a quick route to run players right out of the game, and they already have that problem. It just looks really out of place in the game. Did this exist? Let me ask Halo guys a question. It's being referred to as skill slides. Is skill sliding something that was in the game prior to Halo Infinite? Is that something that that pre-existed? And is something everybody can do as well. 343 should lean into it and add a tutorial in the game of how to do it. See, that's 900 IQ plays. Yeah, let's just lean into it. Let's just let people do it. Who the frick cares? Why are you focused on skill expression? It's not about skill. The goal is speed, however you get there. Well, this is a form of skill expression. You get good at this movement. Just like people got really good at strafe jumping. You know what happened with strafe jumping in Quake 3? I was never very good at it. I was never very good at strafe jumping. I just couldn't master it. There were guys that could hit certain parts on the map, and they'd get going so quick, they were like a stone skipping on water. It was like ding, 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 ding. They're just moving around the map like a dadgum skipping stone. Had jump slides in Halo 2, says Tom Green. Sauron says, yes, skill jumps and slides. You had crouch jumping, but that was it, says Mark. Why do we give Halo so much coverage when they've proven they don't know how to run the game for the community? Well, I'm covering because of it's relevant. What would you like me to cover? There's not a lot going on right now, and it's Tuesday. It's reset day. We can look at the Halo Infinite store items in about 40 minutes. People care about that. I mean, they like seeing that. I like talking about the game because we're playing it this Friday. Listen, if you're a fan of Halo and you're looking for a community to hang out and play with, I'm being critical right now, but this Friday night is community game night. Become a member and you can play with us this Friday night. We're trying to get 5 more members anyway to unlock an emote. So there's got to be 5 people right now that can join. $5 a month. You get a badge. You get emotes in chat. You can get increased access in our Discord. And there's an extra stream Thursday afternoons and Friday nights. Typically Friday nights I'm playing fun games with my wife and throwing back drinks. This Friday night at 8 p.m. Eastern. Halo Infinite custom games, be here if you're a member. Expiry made a bunch of great custom games for us in the past. He's cooking up some more for us. Thanks so much for being here. It sucks because Infinite's fun to play. That's what I'm saying. I like the game. People that think I'm hating on Halo, I'm like, brother, I covered it for multiple weeks when it launched. We did 4 weeks in a row of game night with Halo. We did 4 weeks in a row, a month of like, hey, let's all play Halo on Friday night. That's not me hating on Halo. Like, I like the game. It's a fun game. The issue is that Halo set the rules with the old Halo games. Don't mess with the formula, which will peeve the devoted, it's so stupid from 343. It's nuts. Like, they should even have the reception staff working on Infinite. I can't wait for the Battle Royale. Nothing against you or the topic, just 343 is such a letdown. Oh no, I get it, Enzian. I get it. It's super disappointing. I tried to cover Season 2, Halo Season 2. I tried to cover it on Thursday, and like, nobody cared. It was like, oh my gosh. We covered it on Tuesday, exploded. Tons of viewership, tons of people coming in. And then Thursday, let's do a review. Let's discuss how the season's doing. And it was like a third of the turnout. It was like immediately people were just like, nah, I don't care. It was like an immediate lack of interest. It's so discouraging. Fuzzy says, correct me if I'm wrong though. Isn't all Halo skill-based matchmaking? So typically, the people who have the high skill to do this aren't going to be match-made with Johnny No-Thumbs. Lono has repeatedly gotten his hopes up that Infinite was about to turn the corner. I have! I have! Now it looks like it's going to be Season 3. It looks like it's going to be Season 3. Once you watch runners practice and do live runs, you understand. You have to see the practice to appreciate it, says Eugene. Try to do what they do, come back and try to say it's not skill expression. Oh, that's the argument. Oh my gosh. Yes, Sven, I'm gonna have to disagree with you as well. The strafe jumping in Quake 3 was a significant amount of skill expression, And this skill sliding in Halo Infinite 100% is skill expression. Oh, we're debating the anti-air gun. Explain to me why you don't think it's skill expression, Zubair. You could do rocket jumps in Rocket Arena 3. You could do rocket jumps and they didn't hurt you. You would quickly look down and shoot and jump and you go poof, and you could get up to higher areas and stuff. There were guys that could do it and they'd go boom and they'd launch up and they'd railgun you from the sky. I need to know why you don't think it's skill expression. I missed that part of the argument. The only reason Infinite is on my PC is because of the upcoming community night. I beat every Halo game except this one, just not feeling it. I hear you on that, B-Mac. I really do. Where are the rest of you Halo boys at, man? I'm trying to unlock an emote here. Where are these 5 members? I have no issue with being outplayed. That's going to happen. But when you have a thing that you can't counter, that's the thing that has to go. I think you're stretching the definition of something that can't be countered, and you're trying to wrap it around skill sliding. They're not doing some weapon swapping glitch. Like, if you remember double pump in Fortnite, that's something you can only counter with double pump. Why? It's a broken amount of damage output. It ruins the TTK of the weapon. The time to kill of that weapon is not supposed to be that fast, so they had to patch double pump. I remember doing double pump in Fortnite, and I'm like, this is dirty. This is absolutely filthy, disgusting, dirty. This shouldn't be in the game. It felt like cheating, right? Moving quickly, I think you're stretching the definition of can't be countered. I think you're stretching it a little too far, because it's not affecting time to kill. It's letting them get to a corner or a room or a flanking position more quickly, which, as long as you're employing map awareness, it's going to come down to gun skill who wins that fight. Sven's point is that using a one-hit kill weapon you shouldn't have in the first place to kill the boss isn't skillful. I agree it isn't skillful, but I'm saying it's more than skill, it's knowledge. Okay, so Sven says T.Y. Zubair, good summary. Right, but what I would say is the skills for speedrunning, Sven, is a different skill set than the skills utilized in a PvP game. And when you study the game, you research all of the assets, the tools, all the pieces and parts of the game that are at your disposal, and you say, okay, I'm gonna try and use this to my advantage to go as quickly as possible. That's a form of skill as well. By the way, if you're just tuning in, we will look at the Halo Infinite store items. I've got the store booted up here. We will look at the store items when it resets in about 30 minutes. I know some of you are probably looking for that. We will check that out, so you can stick around for that coverage. We're discussing Halo Infinite speedrunning. Season 2 has seemingly ruined it. We're also talking about skill slides in PvP as well. There we go. Xenomorph Fiend jumping in as a member. We need 4 more members for an emote unlock. Don't forget, as a member, this Friday night's community game night. You can play Halo Infinite with us. We'll have some great custom games, members only. If you're not a member, I don't want you to feel like you're missing out. We only do 2 members things a week. An extra stream on Thursday, and then that extra Friday night stream. The way I see it, says Sauron, the people that say the nerf jumps are justified are the ones that don't take the time to learn the skill. I can only counter it by doing it myself. They'll be in a better position faster, retreat faster. It's not healthy for gameplay. I want you to really reread that slowly, very slowly. I can only counter it by doing it myself. Ergo, you can counter it with the same skill. That would be like somebody doing a rocket jump in Rocket Arena and railgunning me off top shelf in map 1, and me saying, well, the only way for me to counter that is for me to do the same thing, or something like that. It's like, yeah, that guy figured out a way to move in the game that gives him an advantage. You can counter it by doing the same thing, like sprinting or jumping or sliding around a corner in any game. People that slide through corners with shotguns in certain games, that's not an easy skill to master. How are you supposed to counter it? You can do it yourself. You can stay away from choke points. You know, there's ways to mitigate that happening to you. The faster they can go, the more skill required to go that fast. Brett Wood says the outplay potential of skill slides and jumps just adds to the player expression and makes games not feel so milquetoast. 343's biggest problem, says Matanagi, right now is their repeated refusal to listen to the community. And bad decisions is creating player apathy, and apathy far to easily kill games. They need to get it together now. You end up in a sandbox with everyone doing the same lame move, and everyone gets bored and leaves your game. No. That's a terrible read, and I'm going to tell you why. When you have a broad spectrum of skill expression, what you're describing is what happens when you get rid of skill expression. Everybody is doing basically the same thing. It's neutered, bland, it's gray, it's predictable. When you have a broad spectrum of skill expression, you have something to attain to. This is why Fortnite was actually at some level brilliant, because you could always improve. It was like golf. You could analyze your gameplay and be like, I need to get better at editing. I need to get better at doing double ramp wall builds. I need to get better at building a 90, like cranking a 90. I need to get better at this. I need to get better at that. When you have a broad spectrum of skill expression and things that you can't do ... yet, that creates a movement and a trajectory for every player. There's always something to get better about. There's always a way to improve. When you remove those things, what ends up happening is it becomes bland and boring. One of the things that Fortnite did so brilliantly when they removed building is they didn't just remove building. They added a whole suite of movement options. Why? It gave you something to get better at. It gave you something to excel at to create a new brand and a new breed of combat. Instead of everybody just running around and using, traversal angles and lanes and hills to hide until the end of the game, because that's what would have happened. But they gave you a shield that refreshes on its own so you can move around in the open. They gave you traversal options to get out and out of the open if you start getting shot at and get into cover and cover ground quickly. The higher the ceiling of skill, the more people can play, because you've never truly arrived. There's always a level to ascend to. It's why CSGO has such a huge player base, says Wheezy. The skill expression from top to bottom is insanely high. I'm telling you, it seems odd, but I think that's one of the appeals that Fortnite had. And if Halo does this and says, no, skill sliding needs to be taken out, that's just one more piece of skill expression that somebody probably took pride in that they can't take pride in now. What if somebody worked on it for a week and they got good at it and you just yanked it out? They couldn't do it and now they can. So this is the jump that they fixed. Can it be countered? Yes. Was it breaking multiplayer? No. Street pizza jump, okay? So he jumps up there, and they fixed that jump barrier? You're kidding me. See, this is exactly the problem. You cannot micromanage your player base like this. This is frickin' game developer lesson 101. This is game developer lesson 101. You don't do this, man. Let me show you. Hang on. I'm gonna loop it and get rid of my media controls. So this is one of the jumps they fixed. All right. So he grabs this, and then he goes across here. What? There's nothing wrong with that. This is player intelligence, map awareness, unique use of traversal and environment. What are you doing? What are you doing? That's so micromanagement. That's so paternalistic. Get your nanny finger out of my face and let me play your dadgum game. This is exactly how you turn people off from your game. You don't babysit this. This is so minor. This is oh my gosh. This is a glimpse into the problem. This is a glimpse into the philosophical problem at the company. Is if you are worried about this, you are not worried about what matters. This isn't the fundamentals. This isn't what's driving people from your game. This isn't what's bad about your game right now. This is not a priority. No, that's not a priority. Your philosophy is bankrupt and broken if you're focused on that. Right now, in the midst of where your game is, if that's what you're focused on, then just put a fork in it. The game's done. You don't know what you're doing, and you don't know where you're going. You are lost in the woods. The only way out is to get a compass, and that compass is driven by vision for the game and community feedback, the two things that you seem lacking on. Optic Lucid tweeted, Streets Pizza Jump, Live Fire Key Door Jump, Live Fire Screen Jump, Bizarre Red Big Door Jump, Bizarre Big Blue Door Jump, Ramp Drop Slides nerfed. Who asked for a single one of these? Dude, you might as well have just walked into the committed competitive pro scene and just kicked everyone square in the nuts. And when you're done doing that, just be like, we don't want you here. Just say it. Like, say what you feel. You know what I mean? Let everybody know. We don't want you here. Jumps like this is what makes Halo. I said from the very beginning, when they seemed out in left field on threat detector versus radar, when they seemed out in left field on challenges to move a battle pass instead of XP per match, when they seemed out in left field, when they made marginal adjustments and didn't really seem to meet the player base where they were at, when they lacked in having Slayer, when they didn't have SWAT, when they didn't have Forge, when they didn't have co-op at launch, I said, I don't know what game you're building, but you don't seem to know what you want, and you certainly don't seem to know what the community wants, and here we are again. We're going to micromanage jumps on maps and skill expression slides? What in the frick are you doing? Who are you building this game for? Who's this game for? I don't understand. It makes no sense. You've got HCS and the pros baked right into the game. Congratulations, Sentinels. And you got new HCS, vehicle coatings and stuff. What are you doing? Eugene says they're fining pros for being outspoken just because they use some profanity. They fined pros for being outspoken because they use profanity. It's nanny state, baby. You talk about police state, it's nanny state. You're acting like a nanny. You're micromanaging and you're silencing criticism. When the top seems undesirable, no one stays. Uber Nick said some of these season 2 changes are hurting my brain. You're in trouble if Uber Nick says that. You're in trouble. If Nick says that, you're in trouble. Because that guy's pretty positive, pretty consistently. They're fighting Spartan because he was being way rude and attacking community members and went after the art community for something that appeared on his Twitter feed. Okay, so that's one person. Eugene, did anybody else get fined, and was it just profanity, or was it one person for going well beyond profanity? I mean, we want to be accurate in our reporting here. 343 is building this for PlayStation fans. We're the only ones having fun with this. Oh, come on. That's rude. I like it, though. That's a good joke. It's like they're picking and choosing what's problematic versus what's actually a problem. Raikou says it was just Spartan. I guess people like Halo 4 and 5. The slides only came into the game with those games. And I guess people like them? No. I don't think that's a fair conclusion, Akuta Papa. If people are playing Halo Infinite and they think the slides are pretty cool, and like, oh, this really adds to movement to the game. Oh, well, you must have loved Halo 4 and 5. What? No? What? No. I didn't like those games at all. But these traversal options are really nice. They really add to the game. They really add to skill expression. I feel like I can really move around the map with intelligence, and it took me a while to master it. But now that I've mastered it, it's really helped me with map control and closing gaps. If you went to his feed, you would see he was being rude and nasty to everyone, and people had even reported that he was saying to his team in the HCS. I mean, I would need to see. what happened. 343 removing fun aspects of their game and skill expression is the new "we heard you and are listening, so we nerf fusion rifle damage by 50%. My previous comment is the reason for the changes," says Hilly. All right, hang on, Hilly. Hilly said, "I think I know what's happening. When the store refreshes, you'll be able to buy these jumps." Hey guys, listen. We know you don't like those challenges, so we sell challenge swaps, all right? Listen. I have another announcement. We know you missed those skill slides. They're now available in the store. All right, hang on a second. The professional Halo Infinite player, the E-United Tyler Ganza, has been fined by the Halo Championship Series for swearing profusely about the various changes made to the game during its second season. The developer behind Halo Infinite, 343 Industries, previously described the launch as bumpy. The league specifically forbids egregious profanity. "My gun keeps effing jamming. The movement is wonky. I can't turn speed lines off. Who the blank approved this update?" Ganza remarked shortly after the second season content was released. "My lord, I love the game, but this has to be the worst update yet. Removing things nobody asked to be removed, adding things nobody asked to be in. This is just perplexing at this point." Ganza went on to make several similar comments. Is this the guy you're talking about that went after the art community and was incredibly rude? Because I think you named somebody else. You named somebody Spartan. This guy's name is Ganza, and he's been fined for swearing about season 2. Did he go beyond these tweets and do more than what I just read? If that's egregious swearing, holy moly. That was just the Kotaku article, yes. So you were referring to him as Spartan. Is that who I just read about? Is that his name? Because they're saying he was fined for the egregious swearing. You're saying, no, he went well beyond that on Twitter. Drac says he didn't go after anyone in the art scene. I saw the tweets about the female Spartans that he was weirded out by, but he never went after anyone. People paint me as toxic because I roast people. Not once have I gone out of my way to crap talk someone or be toxic toward them unless they have said dumb crap toward me first. This narrative people want to paint is something, man, let me tell you. Cry harder, man. Oh, his gamer tag on Twitter is Spartan. Guys, we are going to look at the Halo Infinite store items in 20 minutes. We are discussing the speedrunning, the slide changes, the map jump changes. It's seemingly pretty bad. I need better evidence than your word, Raikou. Did he delete the tweets, or could I go to his Twitter feed and find what you're talking about? List of fines that they're presenting to me, says Tyler Ganza. Where was he swearing in his home? No, he was tweeting. I've noticed this trend towards Ivory Tower game development. League, Overwatch, Rainbow Six Siege, Halo. Devs want to control how people play to give the illusion of balance. Seems odd to be fined for freedom of speech. You don't have freedom of speech on Twitter. I hope my fine money goes to a new employee as their sign-on bonus and is someone who can fix my BR. He said, being fined, Keck. I'd like to take this moment to apologize to absolutely nobody. I stand by everything I said. I think I've not seen everything he's tweeted, but I feel like I'm in love with him. I feel like I'm in love with him. He said, I'd like to take this moment to apologize to absolutely nobody. I'm in love. Can you give me an example of what he said that was warranted a fine? You said he was rude to people. He was rude to people? Is that what we fine people for these days? Here's your new husband. I'm in love. I can't find anything that deems egregious, says Eugene. If Eugene is somebody who definitely would call somebody out for saying stuff that's way over the line. Eugene is not one of those, it's just trash talk apologists like we saw when this one guy was like yelling at people in Valorant. If Eugene says he can't find anything, then I don't think there's anything there. If you're going to find somebody for being rude, pack it up and go the frick home. Just pack it up and go home. Go run a dadgum daycare, because that's what you feel like you're created for. Like, that's what you're cut out for. You're not cut out for the internet. You're not cut out for criticism. You're not cut out for being a CM. Bungie should take notes, too. Just pack it up and go work at a dadgum daycare. You're too sensitive. That's not what... Like, I don't get it. I don't get it. Venturing out into the internet and being like, oh, negativity... What the frick? Where are you? Where do you think you are? It would be like walking back in time into like the OK Corral after the shootout and being like, I can't believe there's so much gun violence. I just don't. You're in Tombstone. What do you mean? You stepped into the internet. There's gonna be negativity, disagreement, rudeness. Ooh, be still my beating heart. Somebody might be rude to me on the internet. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't know what I'll do. I'll need extra therapy sessions, man. Somebody was rude to me on Twitter. Jiminy frickin' Christmas. Have you seen CBS manually blocking Angry Joe Show's video about the Halo TV show? Seems like everyone in charge of Halo tries to find and delete stuff they don't like. Yeah, it'll work real well for you. It's a real great strategy. That's how you treat your property. You protect it like it's this fragile vase, this frail flower that can't take criticism. That's going to be real good for your property's longevity in this world. That's worked out swell for other games or TV shows. The end of an era? Oh man, throw that in gaming news. That's big, Sven. We're going to be talking about that. FIFA and EA Sports have ended their video game partnership. Holy moly, say what? Give me 1 sec. Yeah. That's old news? I've not seen it. To be fair, at this point, it is a frail flower. I don't see how that could be a finable offense. Angry Joe was not using 10 out of 10. It's why his stuff was getting blocked. Oh, he wasn't giving it a 10 out of 10? I'll give your TV show a score. I had a longtime fan of the franchise tell me the show was okay, so I'm not going to watch it. That's not an endorsement that would make me say, I'm going to go watch Master Chief take his helmet off. They need to wake up, says Hilly. Anybody screaming about your game cares and is giving you data to fix it. This stream made me try my game. 2 things happened. My BR jammed and I spawned out of the circle. Well, maybe I'll play something else. I can kind of see why he'd be fine. He's representing a company. Most employers can fire people for their social media presence if it doesn't reflect well on them. Let me paint you two pictures. Let's paint a picture where 343 makes a bunch of mistakes. And when the community gets really angry and rallies, and even a pro lashes out, and they say, hey, you know what? We appreciate your passion, because that passion comes from love. And we love the game too. We're in this together. Let's dig in and work. Let's compare that to fining the pro because he swore or was rude. Like, which do you think, like, if you're weighing your choices, like, When I'm thinking about PR and what the public's perception of our company is and consumer confidence, which road, which door am I going to take? Let's imagine this is a choose your own adventure for 343. All right, what are you choosing? Which do you think is the right choice? Like CMs, some of these CMs, they blow my mind. Like I made the mistake of getting on one of my Twitter alts, and I saw one of Bungie CMs. He's on vacation and he's checking out streams of a toxic person. Just tell me you're a bad CM without telling me you're a bad CM. You're on vacation and you willingly went and subjected yourself to content that you know is toxic so that you can tweet and feel a sense of self-righteousness and superiority to that person. Like, what in the actual frick? I'm like, who? Oh my gosh, why do you have this job? Why do you have this job? I don't understand. Like, why are you finding a pro for swearing? Like, what? Where did you people come from? You weren't born on the battlefields of Call of Duty and Halo lobbies. It sounds like you wandered out of a Starbucks where you read too many blogs for the afternoon. Like, where did you come from? Who are you? Where is the strength and the resolve? Where's the prudence? The prudent man ignores an insult. Why? Because the prudent man is concerned on the future, not frivolous, meaningless things like somebody insulting them. Where's the prudence? Where's the wisdom? Where is it? I don't understand. No resolve, no endurance, just fragility left and right. Like, I don't get it. Why are you on the forefront? Why are you facing the community? You don't belong in this industry. That doesn't mean that you should be willingly subjected to like mean treatment or threats or nastiness. I'm not talking about that. But Jiminy Christmas. I don't appreciate the slander of reading blogs at Starbucks. I used to enjoy that before Rageous Roast. What do you mean, you people? I just don't get it. Where's the endurance? Where's the prudence and the wisdom? I just don't get it. Everybody seems so fragile, foolish, and just full of folly. I don't understand. Yeah, I saw that, Matanagi, but I thought he was doing it to tons of people. The prudent man may do that, but the penitent man kneels. That's right. Penitent man, the penitent man. Indiana Jones reference. I don't know why, like, what made you apply for a job like that? You know, I let negativity and insults really affect my day. I'm going to be a CM for a video game company. What? It's like, I don't like getting my hands dirty. I'm going to become a plumber. Like, what the frick are you doing? You're in the wrong line of work. In any other league, NFL, NHL, MLB, NBA, you talk trash, you go after the league or the officials, you get fined. Did he go after the league? Did he go after the officials? Did he go after other teammates? Did he make it personal? No. He said, these changes are bad. Listen, what do you prefer? What do you prefer? I would prefer, like, if I was in charge, you don't make it personal. You don't attack the league or the rules. You don't attack organizations. But if you have problems with changes, we want you to voice those. We want you to voice those. That is technically going at the league. That's so tenuous. My gosh, is that tenuous. I don't like these changes in Season 2. Oh, you're going after the league. Wait a minute. Haven't athletes and coaches publicly spoken out about rule changes and stuff that they don't like? Hasn't that happened? Are they fine when they're like, yeah, we don't really like this rule change. We think it makes XYZ tough. I swear I've seen that. Do they get fined if they do that? Like if a hockey player was like, I really don't like the removal of the two-line pass, but, you know, you got to adapt. You're not allowed to express a dislike for a rule change. They've been fined for that. In the NFL, you get fined for talking about actual calls, but you can discuss rules in general. I don't like this is different than a dozen F-bombs. Bless you. No, I didn't sneeze. I spilled something. I didn't spill it. I just knocked it down. It's fine. I got like dust on my... Hang on. What'd you say, Distorted? I'm trying to find it. It's easier to scroll up than to click. It must be really far up. Here it is. Distorted says, I'm okay with the patch. They don't want you to have the kind of movement in their game. It discourages what the open world is about, and it isn't acceptable in multiplayer. No reason for it to stay just because a few needs like it. What you meant to say, nerds? I could not disagree with you more, Distorted. I could not disagree with you more. When you start shaving down, ask Bungie how that went, by the way. Year one, right? Ask Bungie how that went when they shaved all the skill expression down in year one of D2 Vanilla Destiny PvP. When you take skill expression, when you take movement, when you take speed, and you say, no, we're going to shave that down, you're turning your PvP into a neutered, bland, boring, predictable mess. So, and again, as I said earlier, if you have this broad spectrum of skill expression, you can literally always get better. This is what made Fortnite so good. If I could have committed the time, you can always get better at building. You can always get better at editing. You can always get better at something within that rule set of gaming. Now, if Fortnite would have said, the really fast builders and the really fast editors, they're doing something that building was never intended to be. Do you honestly think, I'm supposed to believe that when Fortnite built their building system for Save the World, that they had in mind the crazy quick, G Fuel snorting kid spinning cranking 90s? You think that's what they intended with their building? No, but it was... Zubair, it was an emergent property that came out of that. I was like, oh my gosh, you can build so incredibly fast. They leaned into it instead of squashing it down. If they would have squashed it down, you think Fortnite would be where it is today? All that crazy skill expression, all that insanity, and guess what? You can always get better at Fortnite. Instead of being a predictable, bland, walk around the map BR, there's this super high-level ceiling of skill expression that you can ascend to if you want. Every time you get a win, every time you get some more kills, there is something for you to work on. And when you start squashing down those skill expressions, blandness is right around the corner. Because no one wants to play a game that's that boring and predictable. It's just this, apply the formula, run around the map, go to this choke point, zero skill expression. Brady complained about a number of changes and wasn't fined. I'm fairly confident you can broadly discuss disagreement or dissatisfaction with rule changes and not be fined. You talk about a ref or a particular call or a particular game, then they're going to take that and say, no, that's too specific. But you can specifically say, I think this rule change is going to really slow the game down, and we'll just have to adapt. I'm not really pleased with it. Yeah, here's the thing though, Robert. You're saying it makes Rocket League unapproachable. And at one level, I agree with you. When I play Rocket League with experienced players, I'm immediately turned off because I never touch the ball. They're just flying around. But to the person who likes that game and sees that and they aspire to it, they can apply They can apply themselves, and they can start doing those things. But when you squash that and say, no, we're not going to let you do that, you hurt the game from both ends. You hurt the game from both ends. At one end, you discourage and make things really unenjoyable for your highest skill players. And then oh my gosh, you have to see how this ripples through the game. My gosh, just no self-awareness. So it ripples down. Do. Oh man, I finally got good at this. I'm loving this. This is awesome. Man, I'm really working on that skill slide. Man, that skill slide's so tough to fight against. I need to try to work on that. It just ripples all the way down. Who does it make happy? Who's happy that that's no longer in the game? Those who don't apply themselves to get better, who don't apply themselves to improve. They're just playing hyper casually. And do you think that that spectrum of player is paying the bills and playing your game long term and jumping into competitions and jumping into community game night here on this channel on Friday nights, become a member? Do you think that's what those people are doing? No. The largest portion of your player base is hurt when you start smashing down skill expression, because it ripples through the community. It's like, well, why the frick would I even try to get better then? I was working on that. And, well, now why? Let's check out the store items. Dadgummit, I'm so annoyed. This has been done in so many other games before. It's not new. There's an article of LeBron James expressing, frustration about something. Complained about rules in the middle of a season, wasn't fined. Yeah. The swearing is why they fined him, not complaining. You guys aren't even applying the logic here. Adam Russell, what are we talking about? Halo Infinite changes. Okay, here's the store items update. This deep core bundle is actually really nice. I really like this. Man, they get the cosmetics right, don't they? They really do. Wait, did that thing animate? Yeah, it animated. It rotated when I came back to it. So yeah, Deep Core Red for 800. That's pretty good. The Yakuza armor set. I don't understand. I have to click on each one? And then it takes me into it. Why can't I just highlight it? Oh, I can use the joystick to highlight it. So we got some shoulder pads in this Yakuza armor set. Oh, some gloves. Some knee pads. We saw this stuff in the there you go. Epic Stance boombox. That's not a bad armor set. Unpopular opinion, says Vasilios. Halo's 5 Warzone was a fantastic game mode. Here's REA at noon. It's got like gold for all your stuff. That's pretty good looking. I'm telling you, they get the cosmetic rights. Oh, they got Clippy in here. Oh my gosh, are you serious? I thought Warzone had potential, Vasilios, but it just turned into a spawn trap. It really reminded me of Onslaught from Unreal Tournament. That's like literally him hanging on the gun. That's actually kind of awesome. The kids even know who Clippy is. Clippy the Oppressor was. Clippy the Oppressor. Why does he look like he just made like a dirty joke though? You know what I mean? Why does this artwork have to look like that? Like it looks like he made like a lewd joke. All right. Well, there's your store items. I thought people wanted to see the store items. As soon as I pulled up the store items, everybody left. Jiminy Christmas. Did YouTube have a problem? Are people having the problem they had earlier? We just lost like 30 people. Jiminy Christmas. I thought people wanted to see it. Everybody's looking to buy Clippy probably. They're all running to buy Clippy. Yeah, Eugene just found numerous instances of NBA guys basically like complaining about rules and not being fined. How it's enforced is as consistent as popularity. All right, let me check something here. Let me check if any of the membership renewals bumped us closer to this emote unlock. Let me check. We need 4 new members to unlock an emote. If you're a fan of Halo, this Friday night is a members-only community game night. We'll be playing community private matches in Halo. So consider clicking the join button or typing exclamation point join in the chat. It's a $5 a month thing. Subscribing to the channel is totally free. Thank you to anybody who hit subscribe today. I do a talk show like this Monday through Friday. Multiple talk shows a day. And then when we're done here, we head over to Reforge Radio. It's another game show, but it's basically gaming news. This gaming, the channel you're on right now is topic driven. We pick a topic and we kind of stick with it. Reforge Radio is news driven. We just plow through all of the news like a catch-all. Anything that happened today or yesterday that we haven't covered, we cover on that show. We can't put more content on this channel. We do too much as it is. We do multiple shows a day. The cash shop triggered 30 people. I think it did. They're like, whoa, freaking cash shop. The good news is my computer didn't freeze when I loaded it up. So he says, gotta go, man. Finally good to catch you live again, given time zone shenanigans. Content is stellar. Thank you. I think debating about when and when you don't find a player is just a big needless sideshow. That's a needless sideshow. The optics right now, this isn't the optics. This is like when the subreddit shut down. Like, the optics on this is terrible. Wait, was that New World or Halo? Who shut down the Reddit? Who shut down the subreddit? The 343 didn't do it, but it was shut down by the moderators. It was the Halo Reddit. Yeah. I'm going to give you guys a life hack. If you look up a really, really good cheese dip recipe and you make that cheese dip recipe, then you can then use that cheese dip on a grilled cheese sandwich and it'll blow your mind. How often do you do these streams and talk shows? Monday through Friday, we go live around 9 a.m. Eastern, and we typically do 2 talk shows, or we do a talk show and then gameplay. Sometimes we do 2 talk shows and then gameplay. So this channel, Reforge Gaming, gets between 2 to 3 streams a day, depending on what's going on. Then we go and do another stream over on Reforge Radio, which is less driven by a single topic and more driven by just all of the gaming news that's out there. And you can contribute to the Reforge Radio show by putting news articles in our Discord. I'll give you credit if you put it in there. I'm going to give a bunch of people credit today. I'm going to shout them out and say, hey, thanks so much for putting it in the Discord. If you're a paying member on that channel, you can do call-ins at the end of the show, not during the show, but at the very end, because some people don't like call-ins. They think they're too disruptive. This channel has different member benefits, though. This channel here, if you become a member, you can watch the extra stream we do Thursday afternoons and just treat it like an AMA. Like, hey, man, anything you want to ask me about gaming as a member, it's sort of not in view of the public. It can get a little spicy. And then Friday nights is members only as well. Most of the time, I'm just playing a game with my wife, co-op, laughing, having some drinks. Last week, I had to challenge her to Nintendo Switch Sports for a rematch in bowling. But this Friday is community game night. Once a month, we pick a game to all play together. Last month, we did Fortnite No Building Squads, and this month, we're doing Halo Infinite. I like the vibes here. Well, thank you for being here. Here's another life hack. Try making sour cream, onion dip at home. You'll never buy it again. Yeah, most dips, if you make at home, are so much better than what you can buy. Oh, for sure. Yes. And we are trying to hit a really big membership goal on this channel. I know that like membership and spending culture is just not really a thing on YouTube. That's like a Twitch thing. But we're 4 members away from unlocking an emote. If we get 104 more members, we'll hit 600 members. And then my wife has to play Elden Ring. She's been talking all kind of smack, and I want to make her play Elden Ring. So that's a membership goal that we have on the channel. So we try to balance, like, here's a ton of free content Monday through Friday, and we do members things on Thursday afternoon and Friday night. So we try to give members a reason to click the button, because YouTube is just a different animal than Twitch. Like, people on Twitch just push the button just to push it. And over here, it's like, I got to give you a reason to push the button. So but we also don't want to turn people off who can't do a membership. They're like, oh, he's putting all this stuff behind a paywall. So I try to balance it. You're getting anywhere between like 10 to 14 free streams a week on this channel alone, and then also the 2 additional that are members. And then when we go over to Reforge Radio, that's free all week long with a once a week member stream with my wife on Mondays, where she'll roast up your gameplay or your favorite game that you want to submit as a member. So that channel's a little bit different. Got to work on changing the culture somehow here on YouTube. I think the way you go about it is well thought out. Well, thank you. Eventually, there'll be gifted memberships as well. I think that'll really foster that. Hey, let's help this guy hit member goals, and that'll be a thing too. That's supposed to be coming very soon. How's it going? Says Mark, just subbed. The Sidekick new skin, the red and the black, is glitched. Oh no, how's it glitching, Mark? We just looked at the store items, and I was like, oh, they look pretty good, and we lost a ton of viewers the minute I pulled open the store. I think people were enjoying the discussion, but YouTube's been acting up today, so it might be that. People were having, like, weird audio glitches and buffering, and it's not on my end. My bitrate's been super solid today, so YouTube's having trouble today. I don't know if it's YouTube. It might be AWS, because Twitter was acting up as well. I know on Purple having names flash on the screen and such was a game changer. Is that not something that can be done here? We need to find a way to do alerts, because Streamlabs, I need to find a company that I want to work with. Streamlabs suddenly started editing 2 of my videos got edited by them, and they edited the description and like added a link. Are those real disc plates? Yeah. Yeah, those are real. You can buy them. Mark says, when you buy it, you go into customize to put the skin on. It just shows different shades of black and gray. Jiminy Christmas. What's the specs on my streaming PC? Oh, gosh. I don't know, brother. I don't know. Let's see. Let me tell you. 32 gig of RAM, an AMD Ryzen 9 3900X 12-core processor, 3.8 gigahertz. I believe it's an NVIDIA 2080. We don't use the 2080. I use the processor medium encoding. Detonator renewing for their 9th month. Welcome back after 9 months, man. That's a long time to be a member. Green background's a winner. Thank you. Where do you guys see radio? Radio looks slick. We swap the disc plates and we go red. It's awesome. What do you think of expanding into selling cheese and not just coffee? Yeah, speaking of coffee, we've not sold any coffee today. This is not a sponsor, by the way. Like 80s Teas, we work with them. You can always use the shirt command in chat or use my code over there for 30% off. I'm always wearing a shirt from ASTs. You can buy my disc plates if you want them. We really push the membership and the coffee, though. If you're a coffee drinker and you've never tried a coffee with balanced acidity, you should try our coffee. This is not a sponsor. I'm not paid to say this. It's in my house. Like, my wife and kids box it up, bag it up, and ship it to you with thank you notes. You're supporting like a little small business that we do along with the streaming. So we have a light roast and a dark roast. And again, if you're a coffee drinker, be warned, the balanced acidity will spoil you. It's very smooth coffee. That's one of the reasons people here like it so much. It'll turn you off. It'll turn you off to other coffee. Yes to the green. Yeah, I like it. I think it looks really good. Like, the show has a real, like, professional thematic look to it now. Hashtag dark roast. I expect a kickback, says Zubair. I'm trying to quickly eat because we stream pretty much all day. I'm speaking with my wallet this season. No Halo for me, says Defside. Well, don't forget, you don't have to spend any money. You do not have to spend any money at all if you want to play this Friday. If you want to play this Friday, Halo custom games. I think we might play this game today. Let me see if I can get it installed quickly. Speaking of which, I'm going to go get a refill from all the way in the kitchen. When am I going to get that giant mug? I have like an error. Yeah, clear installed items from list. I have like a Ghost of Tsushima error that I can't get it to go away. It's just sitting there. It's super annoying. It pulled an error yesterday when we it pulled an error yesterday when I unplugged the internet to test that thing out, and it jacked up. It jacked up my it jacked up the download. Like, I guess Ghost of Tsushima was trying to update and I messed it up by, I don't know. It's just there in the downloads. Nice background. Thank you, Reaper. Did someone say coffee? Mm-hmm. Roblox Friday night when? No. Mark says, do you believe the more core technical issues will be addressed by 343, desync, high ping, lag, etc.? Yeah, we're going to be doing that, Reaper. It's going to be thematic. Here's the thing, Mark. I don't want to be negative. I don't want to be a negative Nancy. I don't want to be down on them. I don't want to act like it's a lost cause. I don't want to do that. But I have deep-seated concerns that there is something with this game that is baked in. I'll give an example. All of their changes have been super slow. Like, they couldn't just give us XP at the end of the game. They had to use the challenge system. They can't break up the bundles in the store. They just tried to fix the battle rifle. The BR had some kind of a firing exploit, and they broke the gun. That's super concerning. The first season was 6 months long, and you come out of the gate with season 2, and you're just breaking stuff. Like, what? Like, that... The opposite should be happening this long going. Now, if they would have quickly... If we would be like 2 or 3 weeks into the game's launch, and they quickly tried to do something with the BR and they broke it, I would be more understanding. But I'm like, what are you doing? You had 6 months to get this season and update and patches and everything ready. You built a shooter. You shouldn't be breaking a gun with a change. It just seems unreasonable. Like, I'm a pretty reasonable guy. I feel like I'm usually pretty... I usually get accused of being too sympathetic and empathetic towards developers, publishers, and the companies themselves. Like, I've been accused of being far too lenient or soft or understanding of the developers and the publishers. And in this case, I can't give them like a pass. Like, no, it's a shooter. How much game is there for you to be working on? You gave us 2 maps and a mode, or no, you gave 4 modes, 3 or 4 modes and 2 maps. So the team that works on the weapons in the sandbox, what's wrong with the game, the engine, or your team that a simple change to remove an exploit on the BR, like you just jack the weapon up? That's like, I don't know. That's concerning, man. There was a time where Fortnite was cranking out a patch every week. There was a time where Fortnite was cranking out a patch every week. And you know what was symptomatic of that at the time? They would reintroduce bugs they had previously fixed. Now, some people overlooked it and said, we're getting updates at a breakneck speed, man. Every 7 days they're updating the game. I think there's a happy medium where you don't update the game quite as often, and your updates are significantly better in quality. Does that make sense? Like, that's where I land on it. I land on it like, well, you don't need to do updates every single dadgum day or every single week. Slow it down, brother. Like, slow down. You don't need to do that. Oh, I didn't make a thumbnail. Creature, are you here? I didn't make a thumbnail for something that I want to do now, and I forgot to make it last night. Everlast says the team is the problem. 343 blaming their engine for the problems is like a bad tradesman's blaming his tools for his crap work. Oh, I'm not saying they've blamed the engine. I'm suspecting it's the engine. Nope. Can you get me a thumbnail made up for Salt and Sacrifice? I forgot to make one last night, and it's looking like it's going to be a good call. I've gotten fed up putting through tickets for issues with the game, says Mark. Posting on Twitter and such. 343 have not shown me, as a consumer, any respect to get things resolved. How do you break a weapon like the BR? How do you break a weapon like a BR? Excuse me. How do you solve a problem like Maria? For all of you who are like, what the frick was that? How do you solve a problem like Halo? Oh, no. No, I don't apologize. I stand by it. That's a bad comparison. Good tradesmen need good tools. Yeah, I mean, I could hand my buddy who's a tradesman a bunch of crappy tools that don't work very well, and it would affect his work. I hand the same tradesman really good tools, he's going to do better work. He's going to be faster. He's going to be more efficient. His edges will be straighter. His cuts will be better. Salt and Sanctuary. Salt and Sanctuary's sequel released today called Salt and Sacrifice. How does BR Fix get to production? I don't know. Yeah, the whole tradesman not blaming his tool thing is just like something a boomer says to you when you complain. And sometimes they're right. And sometimes they're not. So the game predecessor by Amida Studios has been bringing back the game and getting high praise for its quality. They've gotten multiple rounds of funding and grants. They just revealed their first original character in addition to the Paragon characters they are bringing back. Pretty cool to see the game coming back and expanding. Wait, they're calling it predecessor. It's remade Paragon. Huh. I missed that. Did you say 343 are doing fixes and patches every 7 days, or that was Fortnite? That was Fortnite. I was giving an example of how, like, I was basically saying, if they would have fixed the BR, like, right away, let's say the game launched back 6 months ago, and the BR was broken, or it wasn't broken, but there was an exploit, and they tried to fix it quickly and made things worse, I would be more understanding. I'd be like, oh, well, you guys tried to, like, frantically push out a patch and it made things worse. And I gave the example, like, Fortnite was patching their game once a week, and it led to problems. It led to them bringing back bugs and glitches that they had previously fixed. Okay, so then I look at Halo now and I think, you guys took 6 months to roll this season and these fixes out. I am super concerned that there's a problem. There is a deep-seated problem. It's either deeply embedded in the engine, your tools, or your team. One of those things can be fixed. The other, maybe not. If it's baked into the engine, that's a bigger concern. If it's baked into the team, you can fix that. You can fix that. But you can't I'm not saying you can't fix the engine if there's baked-in problems, but that's a lot harder to fix than, like, getting rid of bad workers. Akuda Papa says, I'm not caring that things were removed. I explained to several people how to use the faster slides, but they are always to continue gaining energy in Halo Infinite, where I can travel hundreds of meters in a game within seconds. You could also use the exploits in PvP because of the changes needed to make the game in an open world. Previous games made you die after you fell a specific distance. Halo Infinite removed that part of the game. The skill sliding and the jumps they removed that I saw on the maps, Akuda Papa, it's a joke. It's a literal joke. If you, what you're talking about, Akuda Papa, okay, fine. If you don't want people to launch themselves all the way across the map, if you don't want people to do sort of speedrunning strats and stuff that might break the BR, that might break certain aspects of the game, okay, fine. But the little mini jumps and trick jumps and slide, all that they took out, what are you doing? Doc's now an Elden Lord. Even Doc won't help the Halo, the new season, Last Spartan Standing. Is the BR jamming happening on all platforms? Say some people have noticed it on the Series X. Oh, you're saying you've never noticed it on the Series X. I don't know. I had people coming in today saying that they were having the experience with it jamming. So I have no idea. Like, if it's an engine level problem, that is super serious. If it's team level, then that's equally serious, but on the other end of the spectrum. How have you guys not figured out your pipeline? How have you not figured out your efficiency? How have you not figured these things out? It's been too long to keep saying, well, they had bad leadership. They had bad project management. You had to bring in Joseph Staten. It's been too long. I was willing to say all of that for Season 1. I was like, listen, they got a minimum viable product launch. It was needed. It was sloppy. It was rough, but they got it done. 6 months later, you should be refining the game, not making it worse. Like, that's where I'm like, oh, this is concerning, man. You're doing really, really weird stuff. Philosophically, you are micromanaging the player base. You're removing little jumps and slide tricks in PvP that's going to lower skill expression. That's never, ever, ever a way to treat your committed player base, ever. Except the skill slides could be used in PvP. You make yourself shoot across maps. It wasn't just in PvE. I didn't see a video of people shooting across the map, Akuta Papa. Somebody put a video in there for me. They put it in the Discord, and it was not that. It was just like little quick slides that made them move forward slightly faster. I didn't see anybody shooting across the map with skill slides. If you've got a video of people doing that, I would love to see it. I would love to see it, because that does not sound like what I saw. What I saw was not that. With the exception of Community Game Night, I don't know if we're going to cover Halo again for a while. It is just not doing well on YouTube either. We're doing fine, but I can tell on the back end nobody's searching for it, which is insane to me. It's frickin' Tuesday, and no one's searching for it. That's concerning. That's really concerning. That's 1 week into the season, and I can see on YouTube that people are not searching for it. Last season, for at least the first couple of months, you could boot up on a Tuesday, cover a Halo topic, show the store items, and a ton of people would come rolling in. We're 1 week into season 2, and that ain't happening. That's concerning. That's really concerning. When you're not even getting those committed players to check your store items on YouTube, that's not a good sign. Seen some of the pros like Frosty go back to Halo 5. Sadly, that game isn't available on PC. Oh, yeah. Halo just is not the franchise it used to be. Too many games have eclipsed it since the days of Halo 2. Christmas game announcement. The Denver Broncos against the Rams on Christmas Day at 4:30 Eastern. NFL competing with the NBA on Christmas. Yeah. Halo Infinite launching is how I found your channel. Oh, really, Sam? You get one chance to make a first impression. Mm-hmm. That's the want list on Reddit at the moment for Halo. Redesign the user interface. Rework or replace the challenge system. Add region or server selection similar to Master Chief Collection's implementation. Add more loading screens. What? Is that a joke? Bring back pre- and post-game lobbies. Enable Red Reticle on the PC version. Add remaining Halo Online maps to Halo 3 and Master Chief Collection. Reduce the effect of or remove scope glint entirely. Introduce more body type options, including more feminine options similar to previous games. Fix different UI elements stuck in indefinite or very long loading wheels. Implement cross-core customization. Rebalance the VK-78 Commando. Enable color on armor attachments outside of certain kits. Allow for more control over color customization. Improve or address aim assist issues on PC. Improve Scorpion tank controls. Team Slayer challenges should be able to be progressed in all Team Slayer modes, not just the Team Slayer playlist. You can't make proper welds with the welder that doesn't work correctly. You can't make straight cuts with the bent saw. You're thick, mate? Imagine calling somebody thick and misspelling your. My master plumber buddy is using the same pipe cutters from the 80s. It sounds like it's a really good tool. Are you arguing that the age of the tool determines its quality? Because it sounds like that's what you're doing, which would be a fallacious way to argue. It sounds to me like if your buddy has been using the same tool since the 80s, it's a really good tool. I'm sure there are master craftsmen that are using the same hammer that they've used for a really long time because it's an expertly made tool. The boomerism of like a good tradesman doesn't blame his tools. You're putting words in my mouth? I read what you said. My master plumber buddy is using the same pipe cutters from the 80s. Right. And you're arguing against the notion that you need that good tools in the hands of a good craftsman lead to good work. So you're arguing that the age of the tool, it's like, oh, well, he's still using the same tools from the 80s. Yeah, that would probably mean they're a really good tool then. Eugene's point was, if the developers are working with a really bad engine or really bad tool sets, that will affect their work. Let me ask you something. You didn't see my show this morning, did you? You should have watched it. It was a really good show. Do you want to know what we talked about? We talked about the Unreal Engine 5 recent footage that leaked. And we then talked about the laundry list of games switching to Unreal 5. Do you want to know why tons of people are switching to Unreal 5? Because it's a really good tool that will aid them in making better games. Not just prettier games, but it will make them more efficient at their work. If you listen to developers talk about the tool sets and the kits and the engines that they use, they 100% have an effect on the quality of their work. To pretend that that's not true is just a boomerism. The good tradesman won't blame his tools. Okay, I'm going to give you a hammer that weighs 100 pounds. Let me see how good you are with that hammer. I'm going to give you a drill that weighs 300 pounds. Well, why would you do that? That's what it's like to work with a really bad engine or tool set in development. It's slow. It's tedious. It makes you bad at your job. You can't do things efficiently or effectively. It's a bad tool. That 100% has an effect on somebody's ability to create a good game. I'm not making excuses for 343, by the way. I'm simply saying there's a lot of moving parts when a game development company is struggling to fix things or refine things. It's not just they suck at their job. That's a non-nuanced, super simplistic, dumb way of thinking about it. Well, they're just bad at their job. They just suck. You're right. They work at a company that was bought by Microsoft and are working on one of the biggest franchises in the world, but they're just dumb and they don't know what they're doing. Better yet, a hammer that weighs nothing, a saw that's dull, a screwdriver with worn out bits. Yeah, you could use something that's slow and slows you down because it's so heavy, or you could use something that's just really inefficient at what it's supposed to do. That's the point that we're making. Like, you can't just trot out that boomerism and act like, oh man, yeah, any developer should do fine. You're giving me choices here. I don't know which one. I think the orange one will stand out. It'll stand out. Give me 1 second. Gameplay. We'll do that, we'll do that, we'll do that, that, and that. Okay. And then we'll go at 2. '80s, baby, I'm no boomer, mate. I didn't say you were a boomer. It's a boomerism. That's something that boomers say. A good tradesman doesn't blame his tool. You think you're the first person to say that? It's something that old men say to young men when they're making excuses for shoddy work. Right? It's not an axiom that can be universally applied. It's a contextual piece of feedback to a young man who's making excuses for bad work. oh, I did a bad job on that door frame or on that edge work because, the hammer and saw. This guy over here used the same tools and he did a fine job. You don't blame the tools. But if you handed him a dull saw and a busted hammer and a screwdriver that was like bent, well then yeah, he's going to have shoddy work. He's going to take longer to do his job. He's not going to be as good as he would be with good tools. It's not a universal axiom. That's why I say it's just a boomerism. It's like we get talking to, in the dev world, start talking about game design, and we're like, well, it's a bad engine or bad dev kit tools, and you want to trot out that like it's like an axiom. It 100% can affect how good developers how effectively and well they can work on their game. Hey, there it is. First coffee order of the day, 2 bags of light to Dr. G-Nade. Thank you, Dr. G-Nade. That was about 2 minutes ago. There it is, first coffee order of the day. I can't believe YouTube is so different. We've needed 4 members for most of the day. 4. I thought we were gonna slam dunk that. 4 members to unlock an emote. It's so wild. This platform is so different. I've been doing this for 2 years and I still can't anticipate how it's gonna go and how it's gonna be. It's 100% true. The Slipspace engine was chosen to make the new Halo. They weren't given it and told to make it work. Yeah, but we don't know who made that decision. We don't know why that decision was made. We don't know if the engine, as it was being built, started to encounter problems and they just had to keep on going, right? As far as we know, Wheezy's not here. I don't know if Wheezy's here. Isn't this engine a modified engine from something before? So as they were modifying it and building on and changing it and updating it, they were likely potentially running into problems and just had to press on. Like they made the decision to use this engine. Didn't the guy that basically got them all in trouble for crunch, didn't he basically say that the engine wasn't even done when they did their first reveal? It's like the engine wasn't even done. I think Halo is just having a hard time for now. Like any other live service game. No Man's Sky, Sea of Thieves, New World, D2, Final Fantasy. Buffalo over on TikTok says, yo, what's up with Halo Infinite now? Dang, they be tripping. Yeah, we covered how they hurt speedrunning. They removed slides and jumps that were making the game fun for people that were actually still playing it. They have their bad times and good. A lot of these other live service games have turned it around in the past. Halo will do the same. Yeah, I think Halo's got a long road ahead of them. It's a modified Blam engine. Studying have you up in the background. That's right. Wheezy's told me that before. It's a modified Blam engine. That's right. That's correct. Here. I don't know what you want me to see. Murph Dog said something. I don't know. Hang on. That's normal video. It's like sword flying in Halo 2. It got removed or severely hurt in Halo 3. The physics engine seemed to be still based on the old engine, and I think they are working on patch exploits and glitches. I was thinking about Halo BR with the Warthog flying glitch and some of the movement patterns that would make that mode super annoying. This is step 1. Well, right, but couldn't you not do that in Battle Royale? I respect his optimism, but I don't share it, says Zubair. .343 nerfed fun. What's good, Kempachi? D2 got chances because the gameplay was so fun. To this day, it may be the best feeling shooter I've ever played. Yeah, you need that core gameplay to feel amazing. Just got back in. Lono was singing pirate shanties when I left. Why did it stop? Bought the battle passes, Hayden Luker, regretting it. I've decided to go back to Master Chief Collection. So much better. Eugene says, if a dev tries to make an RPG in an engine built for a football game, that RPG is going to be crap. I don't care how good the dev is, the tools they're using aren't made for the job. A hammer isn't made to drive screws. I call that skills making a tool from scratch. Y'all never got the joke. It's okay. It's a joke. He was joking, Eugene. Wheezy says, it's 2022. We've long since stopped giving game passes Nice pun. At this point, you launch crap, you get treated like crap. It makes sense because there's a crap ton of Halo 5 content hidden in the files. From YouTube, by the way, says Buffalo. Heard you talking about TikTok. I wanted to check it out. Oh, yeah. We're trying to get it going over here on TikTok. Yo, Defside, thank you so much for sending an A+ over there. I need... Defside just became a top 1 viewer. Nice. I need to do this projection thing with my iPhone to see if I can't get the screen on my monitor so I know what in the world's going on. It doesn't make... TikTok's not very interactive because I have to look all the way down at my desk instead of over here at chat. So I need to see... I have this little HDMI thing I used to plug into my TV and I'd project to it with my laptop. I want to see if I can plug that into my monitor and project to it from my iPhone. I think I can. I think that's what that thing is designed for. Isn't the screen sharing thing on the iPhone, can't you send that to a device like that? Or does the iPhone only do that to the Apple TV? I don't want to get an Apple TV just for that, but I might have to. It's still a new engine version. You can't keep blaming the past. Right, like they've committed to this engine, and the concerns that I've trotted out and the concerns that I've outlined, it, like I said, it seems baked in. I completed 4 challenges and my special events haven't unlocked today, says the one. 20 minutes left in weekly. I got really bad news for you, man. Weekly reset like 45 minutes ago. Square Enix's Babylon's Fall has 1 concurrent player online in Stream database last week. Could be worse. Yeah, I uploaded a short today about that, didn't I? Was that the one that I did? I grabbed a couple of shorts from yesterday's streams to upload. Yeah, Babylon's Fall has 1 player. Yeah, a little short did okay. It didn't do amazing. It did okay. Oh my gosh. That's rough. It's rough. It hurts. So about that was because of Steam maintenance. The game is doing crap, but the 1 player was because of Steam maintenance. Well, Wheezy, why would you come and tell us that? We had a really good laugh about that yesterday. Go back to studying. I like you better when you're not talking in chat and ruining our fun. Go back to studying, Wheezy. Jiminy Christmas. Can you believe this guy, chat? We had such a wry chuckle about that yesterday. One dude faithfully sticking to it. And you just ruined it. Quiet Shy left? No, Quiet Shy's here. Boo, Wheezy. Wheezy's like, oh shoot, my bad. You totally ruined the joke, man. I legit was dying laughing about it yesterday, Wheeze. I'm not kidding you. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't breathe thinking about it. It was so funny to me. What I said was, imagine being the one guy that keeps playing, he continues to play, and imagine being the person who's actively watching the player count so they can report on it the minute it hits 1. If you look at the physics issues in the previous games, that's what you're coming up against now. Boo this man. I mean, Akuta Papa, I don't know what to tell you, man. You can find the most charitable way to look at this. You can find the most charitable way to look at this. All right? I don't think it changes the fact that this is stuff that should have been sorted out before. Like, no matter how you look at this, no matter how you square this, this is hugely problematic for ongoing player confidence and player engagement. It's hugely problematic. This is just more ripple effects of a game that launches that isn't ready. It shouldn't have launched, right? How do you, these are all the things that should have been caught in internal testing, private testing. You know what I mean? Let's see, the rundown, Xbox, Elden Ring, Unreal 5. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine, Creature. I think that might make more sense. The rundown and then just gaming news is nice and big. Xbox, Elden Ring, Unreal 5. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's the right approach for now. It's so hard to do a variety show on YouTube. You got to attach to something, or no one will find you. Wolby says it's a disaster. Square is such a weird company. Realizes someone else is getting picked on instead of me. Yeah, Wheezy, you suck. Looks around nervously. Shut up, Omar. Imagine if they delayed a year more and spent time developing it instead of trying to fix and maintain it. Publishers are forcing developer to use crappy game engines because they don't want to pay licensing fees to third-party game engines like Unreal Engine 5. I mean, Epic lowered the royalty payout on the Unreal Engine because Fortnite was so dadgum successful. So, I don't know. It's like the thing you said once about Ship of Theseus. Yeah, if you take the philosophical question, the Ship of Theseus. Like, if you take a ship apart and rebuild it over here, is it a brand new ship or is it the same ship? Got my coffee this morning, so good. My wife loved it too. Oh, Sam, thank you for saying so. Appreciate that, man. I've been trying to tell these people how good the coffee is. We want to get at least 2 orders a day. We've had 1. Who's the next order? We need 4 members to unlock an emote. And don't forget, if you're a Halo fan, Friday night's community game night, you can come play Halo with us. It's a dadgum blast. 4 people. We need 4 people to click the join button or type !join in the chat. It's $5 a month. You get into all our extra content. Come on. Let's do this. Let's unlock this emote, man. We hit 200 likes. Thanks for hitting like. Subscribing's free, by the way. If you enjoyed this talk show today, I do talk shows like this Monday through Friday on this channel. Later in the afternoon, I do another talk show called Reforge Radio, which we were covering like serious topics, which that we're not doing that anymore. Reforge Radio is back to being a purely gaming channel, and it's basically gaming news. This channel is topic driven, so we take Halo, we take what's going on with Halo, and we just bat the ball around for a couple of hours. Reforge Radio is gaming news driven in that I'm going to go through every piece of gaming news as like a catch-all that we didn't cover here, so you can get virtually all kinds of different coverage, because we don't really necessarily cover breaking news here. We do maybe next day, but it's mainly topic driven. Like this morning we covered Unreal Engine 5. There's 18 other news stories worth mentioning that we can't necessarily lead a single topic talk show with. So make sure you're subscribed to all the channels. Community game nights are fun. They are fun, Willie. Yeah, Willie played last time we did a community game night. Willie played some Fortnite. It was fun, man. I joined purely to see Madam kick your butt in games. Thank you, Xenomorph. Yeah, don't forget, Friday nights are usually my wife and I playing games together. We may start to incentivize people upgrading their membership, because it's going to be hard to always find good co-op games. We may start to say, hey, if you upgrade your membership, you can make my wife and I play games on Friday night, and we'll give each game, 30 or 40 minutes, laugh about it, and move on to something else. I'm brainstorming about how to do that, about how we could say, hey, Game Request was always kind of rough. Find good 2-player games for us to play, and if you upgrade your membership, we're thinking, we're brainstorming. We're not doing that yet. I'm just thinking out loud. I actually have a problem with the coffee, says Zubair. I can't figure out how to drink it while gaming. I only have 2 hands. Please advise. You get one of those beer helmets with the straws that come down, Zubair. Come on. How am I telling you this? How am I telling you this? I said Madam flames him. Zubair said she napalms him. It's well worth the sub. Yeah, my wife, Zubair said my wife's the meanest lady he's ever met. I played the last Halo game night and Haley sniped my head off half a dozen times. Coffee in a straw, I drink it black. I've been told that my coffee is very good black because of the balanced acidity. That's one of the main things I try to tell people, is if you're a coffee drinker and you've never tried coffee with balanced acidity, you should try it out. This is not a sponsor, by the way. This is ours. I order it. It's in my home. We ship it to you. My wife and my kids put little thank you notes in there for you. What's that Prison Break game that's co-op? I don't want to play that with her. I played that with Hilly. It was okay, but it wouldn't work for me and her. Like if you want to, if we end up doing that where you upgrade your membership and force us to play a game, maybe, but maybe that's a reason to add that as an incentive. That's not something you tell people, said Eugene. Once you go black with Lono, you never go back. The woman has a gift. The barbs come out of nowhere with surgical precision. It's so bad I stopped making fun of Lono. She does not need any help. Last week, yeah, she got me right out of the gate. She got me right out of the gate about my tiny wrists. It was really funny. Listen, if you become a member afterward, you can always go back and watch those VODs. They're available to you. We have a members only playlist. You can go watch the VODs if you can't make it or you become a member after the fact. I didn't expect her to be as ruthless as she was. Then again, birds of a feather. Yeah, you guys think I can be cutting and ruthless. I'm nothing. I'm nothing, man. I'm a kitty cat compared to her. She's a dadgum tiger. And one day I'll call her a cougar. Hey-o! That's it, A Way Out. Yeah, it was called A Way Out. Yeah, I played A Way Out with Hilly as well as It Takes Two. Mm-hmm. It's like watching a lion playing with a baby gazelle. Oh no, Lono has a girl wrist? No, I have a wrist that's proportionate to my body size. I'm a 5'6", small-framed, skinny white guy, right? So would it be weird if I was like shaped like reverse Popeye and suddenly my wrist was just enormous? You'd be like, what's the matter with you? Go to the doctor. Why is your wrist so large? I'm proportionate. I'm proportionate. People that make the joke about me having small feet, you know, it's like, what? Would it be better if I was 5'6" and I walked around with feet like Ronald McDonald and I was always tripping on things and I got on a plane and couldn't get my feet under the seat in front of me? My feet are proportionate to my body size. You're just tiny? Yeah, okay. How do I get into the community play event? Will it be Halo Infinite or Master Chief Collection? It'll be Halo Infinite, Mark, and you just have to be here. I highly recommend following me on Twitter or being in the Discord, because member streams are tough to find. Like, I try to ping you with the members-only community post so that you know when we go live. I try to feature it on the channel, but let me tell you, it's not like a normal video. So if you want to make it to a members-only stream, man, you got to do all the things. Like, make sure you're on Twitter, make sure you're in Discord, make sure you're just checking the channel, because they make it really, really hard to shove a members-only stream in front of people. I'm not kidding you. It's like, we get a bunch of people that renew, and then they just don't know. They're like, I didn't even know you went live. It's like, it's because it's not an actual published public video. That's why. You know what they say about having large feet? Yeah, you have large shoes. What time do we start? 8 p.m. Eastern every Friday night. That's the Friday night stream. If we're not doing community game night, my wife and I are playing a game, laughing, throwing back drinks. It's hysterical. The Nintendo Switch nights were actually really, really fun. Nintendo Switch Sports, I should say. Things in the camera appear biggest than reality. Caution. Mm-hmm. Yeah, like my hair. Oh, my hair's not even in frame. You spend a lot on socks. All right, here's what we're going to do. You FromSoft guys are going to like what we're going to do next, but I need to quickly run upstairs and use the restroom. I'm going to quickly run upstairs and use the restroom. TikTok guys, I'm going to end the stream. We're going to switch to Salt and Sacrifice. We're going to check it out for about an hour, see how good it is, and then we're going to head over to Reforge Radio for more gaming news. There's tons of things that happened today. There's all kind of things going on. Let me whet your appetite for the gaming news over on Reforge Radio this afternoon. There's information about Gotham Knights that's clarifying something. Ninja is concerned about the future of Fortnite. There's things going on with Operation Monarch and Call of Duty, and EA and FIFA have ended their partnership. So many things to cover over on Reforge Radio. So much gaming news going on that we can't cover here because we're topic-driven here. If you put gaming news in the Discord, I'll give you credit when we go through that episode. Don't go anywhere. Salt and Sacrifice is a little side-scroller Souls game, so let's see if it's any good. I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. I'm going to hit some ads. Listen, I need 4 more members to unlock an emote. 4 people, click the join button. It's $5. Let's go. And then you can be here Friday night for community game night. All right? I'll be right back. Okay. I was in the pool. It shrinks like a frightened turtle. Honestly, I don't know how you guys walk around with those things. Human female body is a work of art. Male body is like a Jeep. It's made for getting around. Some women like it. Yeah, sickies. Okay. Let's check this game out, guys. Check it out for a little under an hour. I'm going to give you guys a link. I'll make sure and tweet. I'm not going to retweet this one from the big channel, the thing. Checking this game out. I liked the first one, but then it was non-linear. And I got really, really mad. Does this salt lead to your sacrifice? Yes. Hey, thanks for clicking on the video. Going to be checking out Salt and Sacrifice. Quick little maybe hour-long video to show you the game from the very beginning. It launched just today on May the 10th. If you're watching this on Reforge First Look, thanks so much for checking out a first look at a brand new video game. We try to feature first looks on this channel all the time. If you're watching it as a VOD on Reforge Gaming, we do talk shows and gameplay intermixed, and we talked about Halo and Unreal Engine 5. We did all those things today. Let's jump right in, but I need to bring people from the stream this morning. I'm going to redirect them over. We like to make sure that those people are able to come over and enjoy the show as well. And I usually do that at about 30 seconds in. We also have another channel called Reforge Radio where we cover gaming news. So